Hello and good evening. Right, just a very quick video. So I've just been shopping. So it's now coming up to 10:30 in the evening, and I've been up since what time did the carer come this morning? Right, let's say 6:30. Did my exercise once she left. So that's up and down the stairs. I think I did 25 minutes this morning. And then I rested for maybe half an hour. And then I started sewing. And obviously I had to sort my sister's breakfast, lunch and dinner out. And then, being a Liverpool supporter, game started at 7:45. So I decided I was going to, while the match is on, because I know I would have lots of energy, I figured I would do the washing up, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom, and I managed to get it done in record time before the game finished. And then did the recycling and took the rubbish out, and here I am on the road shopping. No rest for the wicked. But I feel perfectly at one with, not so much with life, but I have no concerns, no cares, no nothing. Wow, that's a fox. Blimey. Yes, that's that. Alright, so basically the reason I'm doing this is because Kevin Samuels, I've had people sort of recommend or send me links or his videos as somebody that I might find interesting, but I don't rate people who rate people. You know, sort of, he uses terms like high value men and rates women out of 10 and all of that nonsense. So, being a good judge of character, he died recently. I was doing a slight assessment. Obviously, I have my own standards, so what he would rate as a high value man isn't my idea of a high value man, but that is something to come back to at some future date. So I was posting on Facebook, just dropping little things, because I tried to do a long post. Well, I did a long post, but Facebook logged me out and I received a message to say what I posted was inappropriate for Facebook. But what I was really saying was, cutting a long story short, among other things, I was commenting on people depending on people, and about people who draw an audience, such as Mr. Samuels. They do it to get money. So, in other words, so the motives aren't necessarily pure. And so I come from a position where I'm all about inspiration. So obviously, if God inspires me and he's never charged me 1 pence for so doing, why should I capitalize? Why can't I give it back free of charge? So whatever ideas I get, I will share. Like, for example, yesterday evening when the carer came, people will come into the flat. They'll come in and they start talking to me about exercise. What do I do I need to lose weight? What do I do? What can I do? And so most people have stairs or access to stairs. So I showed her what I do and what is working for me. And I showed her the equipment that I use, where to get them from, and how much they will cost. Sum total of £28. Right, so anyway, all of that aside, you see, so it doesn't cost anything to do that. So I'm thinking to myself, there are so many people out there who are, if you like, vulnerable because they are not enough for themselves. They need others to fill them. So this is why, like, I'm literally walking and I feel inner peace. That's what I'm looking for. I feel fantastic. But as you know, I've been on my sister's sofa for the last 2 years, and pretty much I don't have a life. So why on earth would I have inner peace? So going back to Mr. Samuels, so the people who, his customers, I'm going to call them his customers, are people who are looking for a man, looking for a woman, something. But I think what I've got going for me is that I'm not looking for a man. And the reason I'm not looking for a man is because I don't need a man. And I mean, I genuinely don't. But I would say that in the same way I could say I don't need family, I don't need friends, because I'm self-sufficient. I hope that makes sense. But in saying that I'm self-sufficient, it is not a case of self-sufficiency. It is, who do you look to for your support? I get my supply from God. So what I was coming from with some of the things I was posting as regards Mr. Kevin Samuels was to do with, he was like the godlike figure. I listened to an interview that he did, and it was at 84 minutes in that he mentioned God. And he mentioned God in terms of who made you God, talking in terms of people who might disagree with him or challenge him or something. But he obviously is not anchored in God, so now he's dead and gone. Ironically, he's the same age as me. I think perhaps a year older. But if you see the way I'm dressed, obviously I've got a hoodie on, you can see that. I would be looked at as a low-value woman, and probably score maybe a 2 on their the way they would do the scoring, because it's all about appearances. But it is not about how others feel about you, it's about how you feel about yourself. And I think there's this prevailing myth that when women say they don't need a man, it's just empty words. But if I'm here looking after my sister single-handedly, barring the half-hour sessions where the carer has come to do the personal care in the morning, then therein is the evidence that I'm self-sufficient. I've organized myself in such a way that I've been able to keep going since 6:30 this morning, and I've still got energy, but I'm not going to push it. I'm gonna just unpack the shopping and get myself ready and have an early night, I think. But I guess it's just, that's all I wanted to say, really. Because I see it more and more, especially on YouTube. There's so many people who are latching on to any and anybody, and sort of like as their lifeline, like an umbilical cord. And I mean, Kevin Samuels has died now, so all those people who depended on him, where will they turn? So God is eternal, God is immortal. God isn't about to die on you. When I say you, I'm speaking for myself now, because as I said, that's who I rely on. And I just find it, just situations like this very interesting, that people that I know and would call friends were fascinated by this man and took him as a type of guru, whereas I wouldn't have had the time of day for him, and I would have given him a run for his money. I would have loved to have gone head to head with him, to question him on things like, so for example, a high value man is someone who makes a lot of money. Let's just look at it. It's about all the trappings, dresses well, etc., a good job, lots of money. And I'm just reminded of that passage in the Bible where it talks about, a sort of like accumulating worldly status and things and whatever. Because at one point on the interview that I watched, he talked about leaving a legacy. And I always think people who talk in terms of legacy are just egomaniacs. And I was inspired. The passage of scripture came to my mind. Though a man gains the whole world, this is me paraphrasing it. Though a man gains the whole world, what will he give in exchange for his soul? You can have all the money in the world, all the trappings in the world, but do you have inner peace? You cannot buy inner peace. There's no price that you can put on that. And so this is why, for me, I'd rather be alone and happy, which I am, than to have somebody in my life compromising my inner peace. The only people who will sort of grab at someone to have somebody in their life are people who cannot power themselves, who do not have their own supply. And it's very interesting. There are people out there, like I said, like Mr. Kevin Samuels, who I'm not going to say prey on people like this, but they set up themselves in the marketplace, and they get their customers. And I'm going to leave that there. So have a good night. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.